JEM is my name, no one else is the same. JEM is my name. JEM.
A movie reference that I don't get? Apparently so. So, the Misfits, plus Clash and Tech Rat, are storming the Halloween party at the Holograms place at the Benton residence. And the main Misfits are dressed up in skeleton outfits. And this is apparently a reference to something, and I have no idea what it is. Let me know in the comments, because I'd love to know. Stormer says, I'm not sure why we're dressed up as the bullies. Why are we the villains? So, and Tech Rat says, I saw the movie. What does a shower have to do with skeletons? And then she chastises him for watching the remake. Good on you, Pizzazz, I guess. But I have no idea, no clue what movie they could be referencing. I guess I have to turn in my film fan card. I'm not as well versed as I thought. So I'm going to be more critical now that we've reached the end of this arc. I'm going to be a bit more critical than I have been, because I don't think some elements of this story are being set up properly, and it's possible that it's going to come in later. But for now, it just doesn't seem to be well thought out. Doesn't mean it isn't well thought out, and all of my little qualms may be answered in subsequent issues, but for now, I'm left wanting a bit. I touched on this in one of the previous videos. Eric Bad Guy, when he's assigned to manage the Misfits, because the studio that or the company that signs the Misfits, they're like, you need a manager. You're out of control. Here's Eric Bad Guy, and he's like, nice to meet you, Misfits. Now let's destroy the holograms. It's like. And as I mentioned, I mean, maybe he has a history with the Bentons or the Starlight Foundation. If that's so, we don't know yet. It's like, why is he so hell-bent on getting the holograms? I don't know. Why would he hire Tech Rat to hack the holograms? What does that even mean? I mean... Did he mean like bust into their email? Why? I'm not saying there isn't a good reason, but why? What's he trying to do? I don't know that the story authors know. Right? If he said, okay, Tech Rat, hack their emails, let's see if we can see what we can find. We're just digging for dirt. And he's like, I can't get in. There's something wrong. But he just says, hack them. I'm like, what does that even mean? What are you looking for? What are you doing? So they, Pizzazz, through Clash, through video, finds out about the party. This is a perfect place for them to go in and do... Well, it's a good way to get Tech Rat on premises so that he can hack the holograms, whatever that means. But I'm not totally clear what the Misfits are doing there. Just causing a scene? Pizzazz seems to want to... She's annoyed that she missed the debut of their new video, their new music video. Was she going to critique it in a very mean way? She seems annoyed that she missed it, but now she's going to stalk JEM. She's like, all right, and she follows JEM throughout the house and is like, she and I are going to have words. Okay. Are you just going to talk to her about the fact that she siphoned off your fans to her own concert and that's bad form? Maybe. I just don't know. One thing I think I forgot to mention in the last video was the 5x5 Music is putting them on a West Coast tour. and she asked who's opening for us, and they said, we haven't decided yet. Well, she gets an alert on her phone. It's the Holograms, who not only just sign, as we learned last week, or last issue, they're signed with the same record label. That's what I was, that's the phrase I was looking for, record label. So they're opening for the Misfits, and that upsets Pizzazz. So she leaves the party, ostensibly, I guess, to go yell at not Eric Bad Guy, but the whatever the woman's name who assigned Eric Bad Guy to manage them. I guess that's where she's going. And she left Tech Rat and the Misfits there. And they're kind of irritated that she just dumped them. And while Jetta calls and leaves a message on her voicemail, but Pizzazz is busy driving, so as she's reaching for the phone, she gets in an auto wreck. And yeah, she seems pretty screwed up, man. Pizzazz don't look too good. Is Pizzazz dead? Well, Jerrica and Rio made up. Kimber and Stormer look like they're going to try and work it out. Aja and Craig are... They were always fine. Shane is thinking, shoot, maybe I should throw my hat in the dating pool. Also nice, Rio actually talks to JEM, and Jerrica manages to hold her own a lot better this time, so that's nice to see. 30 seconds ago I said Jerrica and Rio made up. You might be wondering, I didn't realize they needed making up. Were they on hiatus? Apparently, and this is another element that I'm finding a problem, because I had no idea that he talks to Jem at the party, which I just mentioned, and then he meets Jerrica, and he apologizes to her because they apparently have not spoken since Viral Issue 1, where he came over to tell her that he'd been assigned to interview Jem, and she was upset that he wrote a glowing review of the Misfits. Apparently they haven't spoken since, but we don't learn about it until this panel here, and it's resolved in this panel here. That's not the best storytelling. We don't have any time or room for drama or tension. I had no idea they were on the outs. This could come down to page count or editing or something, but they're really... I went back and checked. There's no, like, even a throwaway line where Jerrica's complaining about all the work she has to do as a manager, where she's like, and I haven't spoken to Rio in 2 weeks, and, you know, I don't know what's going on with that. Nothing about that. I had no idea there was anything wrong. Like, they had a little bit of a blow up at the fair before the Misfits concert, because he was warning her. I'm seeing some very diva-ish behavior from Jem, and I'm concerned about you and your band. And she didn't, and she took that personally, understandably, but also Jerrica, come on. But they seemed fine because she calls him later that night to ask him for a favor to help set up the whole concert that siphons off the Misfits audience members. So they seem to be fine. They were on speaking terms. So he shows up in Viral Issue 1. She's upset about the review he wrote, and he says, hey, I got to interview Jem. So apparently she's just been kind of mad at him, and now he hasn't spoken to her, and now he's apologizing, which, Rio, I appreciate you, man, taking the high road, but Jerrica's being kind of a putz here. So this is just another element of this section of the story that kind of came out of nowhere for me, and I mean, at least this one's explained. Oh, they were on the outs, but now they're on the ins. Okay, that took place over 3 panels. That's could have been handled better. All right, back to the original recording. So we end this with Tech Rat he's searching the house for something that he can do to do something. Still not exactly clear what he's doing. But he checks the pool house. The house by the pool. And he walks in there, and here's a voice that says, "Alert, alert, you're an intruder in a restricted space. Party organizers have been notified. Stay where you are so you can be escorted off the premises." And he runs out. And he says to Eric Bad Guy, "We can't do anything. Their tech is light years beyond anything that should be available." I'm like, what is he talking about? What has he seen or done? What is he talking about? He walked into an empty room. He heard this announcement. And he's now like, "Oh, there's a sophisticated AI running the entire house." Is there? Or is there just like a motion sensor attached to a recording? I mean, why would you think that? And then he says, he says to Eric Bad Guy, "While we can't do anything about it, we don't have to, because there's something wrong with it." Dun, dun, dun. So maybe Synergy has a virus. But again, what makes him think that? He says himself he doesn't see Synergy. He says, "I didn't see a robot, I didn't see a form manifest or anything." So he didn't see Synergy, so I have no idea what the hell he's talking about. I'm sure he's correct, but now, will any of this ultimately matter? Probably not. Pizzazz gets in a car wreck and she's hurt. Eric Bad Guy and Tech Rat are trying to hack Synergy, and we found out that Synergy is sick or there's something wrong with her. Those are the important elements, and the various characters who are, their relationships with each other. Those are the important elements that drive the narrative forward. But I would like better context for what Eric Bad Guy's deal is, what he's trying to do. If we're holding the cards close to our vest, if we're not yet ready to reveal the why he's invested in doing whatever he's trying to do, destroying the holograms, I'd at least like to have better context for what exactly he's going for. And if it was, as I said, if it was as simple as, "Hey, Tech Rat, hack their email and their home network and read their email and see if there's anything worth seeing there." Oh my gosh, there's like decades advanced security here. That's weird. We should investigate. But no, there's none of that. It's, "Hack the holograms." I don't even know what that means. So I spent a lot of this, one, wondering what movie they were referenced, and also just wondering exactly what all of our bad guys are trying to do. Even the Misfits didn't really seem to know why they were there. Pizzazz seemed to have a goal. Tech Rat was there to hack. Pizzazz was there to see the debut of the music video and do something unspecified. And since she missed it, now she's going to have a talk with JEM. Okay. Is that it? What are the other Misfits doing here? They don't even seem to know. They're like, "Are we just supposed to push someone into the pool or something? What are we doing here?" I don't know. So art's still gorgeous, still really enjoying the character, still really looking forward to seeing where this story goes. But I have to say, I'm kind of disappointed where the story is wrapped up so far, because I just don't have a good solid concept of what anyone is attempting to do, what mostly our antagonists are attempting to do, and why. So, oh well. Catch you next time in the next comic review. Bye!